Hello and welcome to another 5-minute review with Writerly Witterings. Cheers! Now, in the last few years, like many others, I have read or reread a bunch of books about the First World War. The Ravi Lancers by John Masters. I've read Remarque's book All Quiet on the Western Front, and a bunch of others. And today I want to talk about one I've only just finished. It's called The Secret Battle by AP Herbert. You may not know of AP Herbert. He was a well-known writer with Punch magazine from about 1924 and had a lot of theatrical successes and published several novels. He was an independent MP for Oxford until 1950. He was an interesting character, but he was also in the First World War. This book is not a history, it's not a biography, but it's a really quite searing depiction of how soldiers were treated, what life was like, and the complete inhumanity of a mass army at time of war. It's basically the story of a young man who joined up the war, first of all being sent to Gallipoli, and then going on to the Western Front, which is pretty much the way that Herbert's life went. He was sent out to Gallipoli at first, so he writes about that with really quite repellent detail, I suppose is the way to put it, saying how a dead body smells after a day in the sun. And then after that he was sent to the Western Front. So he saw all of these situations. He experienced war in its most horrific nature. And he writes with feeling about it, but without over-sentimentalising the life of the troops or anything. He just tries to give an accurate understanding of what it was like for the men there. But this is more than just a war book. This is really a searing look at how individual soldiers and even officers were treated. And so when you read about all of the shell-shocked soldiers who were convicted of cowardice in the face of the enemy and executed, that's what this story is really about. It's about a brave man who had to go through unbelievable torments in 2 different battlefronts and tried to maintain his courage all the way through, but who was broken in the end. Broken by the shell fire, by the incompetence and stupidity of some of the officer class above him, by the inhumanity of the systems of the court-martial. It goes through the whole thing. It's only a light read. It's only a short read. It's 185 pages in this small format. And I have to say, this is published by the Collector's Library. I'll put a copy of the back cover up on the thing when I'm done, but it is a beautiful copy with gold blocking on the end papers and so on, and really nicely produced with a fabric cover and so on. So it's the sort of thing that would grace any home. Only cost me £3.99 from Postscript Books, because presumably they've decided the war's over and so the publishers aren't going to bother trying to sell it anymore. Very sad if that's the case. It was CRW Publishing Limited, published in 2015. with permission from Curtis Brown on behalf of the estate of Sir Winston Churchill, because Churchill wrote an introduction for it. So it's not the most cheering read, it's not the most delightful read, but I think it's a seriously important book that more people should read, because it says an awful lot about what went wrong with the war, not just because of the soldiers, but because of the way the war was managed. So there you go. Not the most cheerful, but still a very good book, and it should be read. Thanks very much. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button, do the subscribe button, hitting the bell beside it if you want to be notified when there's another video coming out. And if you've got any comments on that or other books, put it in the comment section below and I'll respond to you. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers, take care.